Welcome, Stefan. Thank you for joining us today. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about Birmingham Contemporary Music Group, BCMG?
Birmingham Contemporary Music Group has been founded in '87 with a very simple sounding aim of performing music for the first time. It has been founded by musicians from the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, and I'm the current artistic director since 10 years or so. I'm myself a musician, a conductor.
Could you tell us a little bit about BCMG's work championing contemporary women composers?
Our core mission, obviously, is to create exciting musical experiences and therefore find the best music, which is recently or composed in the future. And some of this best music is written by female composers. So, of course, this is our task to find the right balance, a balance that hasn't always in the history of contemporary music been reached. And that's a joy. We have a couple of options how to do this, like in programming pieces, like spotting existing pieces, which, for example, have not been performed in the UK, or not in Birmingham, or not in their entirety, and so on and so on, or deserve a second performance for whatever reasons. And of course, commissioning is another preferred measure. That's of course the one of the most exciting things as well for everybody involved, for the musicians, for the composer, and for the audiences. And there are lots of other actually areas. Thinking of our learning work, thinking of some background information we produce to kind of make sense of it and embed it. Before someone turns out to be a great composer, let alone a musical genius, of course, there must be some sort of bringing people in contact. And we like the idea that it's a good strategy to bring as many people in touch with music as an early age as possible, to find out children who have this knack, who have this affinity, like they have they want to articulate ideas in their head, like with sounds, and so perhaps not even aware they have a talent to compose. They have the opportunity of inventing music, of creating music, and of course that's an important part of our learning work.
Could you tell us a bit more about BCMG's approach to commissioning new works and working with new composers?
Looking for the best contemporary music is a good strategy to try to make sense of it, try to create some meaningful experience for this triangle of musicians, composer, and audiences we create. These are the three core elements we bring together. The musicians, who must be on the head of their game, yeah, and good experience in avant-garde technique and performance practices. The composers, who mostly it's very useful if they also are like ahead of their game and well informed what all the others composers before them have done. And the audiences, who interestingly play a big part in this, because without audiences there's no music, full stop. So whilst of course the composer needs to come up with the new ideas and adding elements in it, for our task to create something meaningful, it's good to have all three elements in focus when planning events, when approaching composers, when discussing what would be a lineup a composer would like to write for, what sort of event you like the music to be presented in, and so on and so on. And then further, of course, it comes to the practicalities of it. So, of course, it's helpful to have a little strategy lined out. So you need a kind of a sort of a timetable stretching 2 to 5 years ahead. We had some actually very good experiences with open calls, and also we sometimes we've done them anonymously, and then that was actually quite interesting and very useful for gender balance. There has been debates whether it's good or bad, but we made really good experiences with this. Of course, it makes sense to have the panel gender balanced.
Thank you very much for sharing that. It's all extremely interesting. So one last question, and that is, could you tell us about how BCMG is working towards gender balance programming?
Of course, in the care you apply to the strategic aspects of commissioning activity, you have this in mind. That of course you want to contribute to the gender balance question in a meaningful way. If you imagine things, sometimes they happen. Various little steps become second nature.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Stephan, for sharing all of that and for speaking with us today.
If you enjoyed this clip, feel free to follow the links on screen for more interesting articles and free courses from the Open University.